When I walked into the hospital to make a payment on my account, the clerk said, "Your account has been paid in full." I blinked. "What?" She smiled politely, typing something on her keyboard. "Yes, ma'am. Your balance is 0. That can't be right," I said. "I still owe over $3,000. The clerk turned her screen toward me. My name, address, and patient ID were correct. The screen clearly said, "Balance $0.00." My stomach twisted. "Who paid it?" "I'm not sure," she said. "It just shows online payment received yesterday afternoon." But I hadn't made any payment yesterday. I was barely scraping together enough to pay a few hundred today. Yesterday afternoon, I'd gotten a call from a man claiming to be from the hospital's billing department. He said if I gave him my account number, they could update my payment plan. I'd hung up before saying anything, but what if he already had enough information? If someone hacked my account, they could be using it for identity fraud, or worse. I leaned over the counter. "I need to talk to the billing manager, right now." The clerk frowned. "Is something wrong?" "Yes," I said, heart pounding. "Something's very wrong." Within minutes, I was in a small office with a woman named Mrs. Baker, the billing supervisor. "You're saying you didn't make this payment?" she asked, clicking through my file. "No," I said, "and if it came from my bank, that means someone has my account information." She glanced at the screen, then looked up sharply. "Ms. Paxton, this payment didn't come from a bank. It was made by an outside source." "Outside source?" "Yes," she said. "Someone came in person yesterday, paid the full amount in cash." I froze. "Cash?" Mrs. Baker nodded. "Said it was for your hospital bill and signed your name on the receipt." "What?" I grabbed the edge of the desk. "Someone pretended to be me?" Whoever did this not only knew my name, but also knew about my debt, my full name, my hospital, my balance. That wasn't random. "Can you show me the security footage?" I asked. "From yesterday?" "I can request it from security," she said, picking up the phone. "Give me a few minutes." I didn't sit still as my mind spun through possibilities. It could be someone from work, an old customer, maybe even my ex, Paul, who still called sometimes despite the restraining order. If he was here yesterday, I needed to find out fast. A hospital security guard arrived and led me down a hallway to a small monitoring room filled with screens. He rewound the footage from the previous afternoon. "There," he said, pointing. On the screen, I saw the billing desk. A man stood there wearing a gray hoodie and baseball cap, his back to the camera. He handed the clerk an envelope, signed a paper, and left without looking up. "Can you zoom in?" I asked. My breath caught. I knew that wrist tattoo. "He shouldn't even be here," I whispered. "He was told to stay away from me." The guard looked concerned. "You said this man used your name?" I pulled out my phone and called the police. "This is an emergency," I said. "Someone violated a restraining order and impersonated me at the hospital." As I spoke, I caught sight of something on another screen. The same man from this morning, standing outside in the parking lot near my car. "He's here," I whispered. Within minutes, 2 officers arrived. The guard pointed them toward the parking lot. From the security feed, we watched them approach Paul. He looked startled, then started shouting, pointing toward the building. The officers kept their calm, handcuffed him, and led him to the patrol car. Mrs. Baker joined me, holding the printed receipt. "They'll need this for evidence," she said. The officers came back inside a few minutes later. "We confirmed his identity," one of them told me. "He admitted he paid your bill to get your attention. Said he thought you'd have to talk to him if he did something nice." I stared at him. "He forged my name." "Yes," the officer said. "He's being charged for that and for violating the restraining order." Mrs. Baker handed me a new receipt. "Your account is still paid in full," she said gently, "but I can mark it as third-party payment for record purposes." The officer nodded. "We'll file it with the report. You did the right thing by calling right away." My friend Jenna came over with takeout. "So your ex paid your hospital bill and got himself arrested?" she said, laughing in disbelief. "Pretty much," I said, sipping my tea. "Guess that's what you call an expensive mistake."